silence. Not in the gym, not in the office, not in front of the crowd, but alone. Alone with the pain, the doubt, the questions like, how did I fall off? Or, will I ever get back? That's where the real rebuild begins, because setback isn't a stop sign. It's set up for your evolution. Let's talk about the comeback code, how to rebuild when life knocks you down. And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SAUNAIE. I'm your host, XO. It's your first time listening. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming out wherever you at. I appreciate you. And this episode right here, we gonna really get into it. Comeback code. How to rebuild you when life knocks you down. We all been through it. We all got knocked down in life a couple of times. And this is just the episode where we talk about the comeback. Because nobody really talks about the comeback season. And let's be honest. Everybody loves a good comeback story. But what about the comeback season? Nobody likes that comeback season. That part where you're waking up, but nothing's really changing. Or you're working hard, but nobody's noticing. Or even maybe it's the doubt from within because what used to work doesn't work anymore. We've all been through it. But it's understanding that setbacks expose what comfort covered. They reveal who you are when nobody's clapping for you. And the truth is, man, most people quit too early because they expect progress to feel good. But rebuilding, that's not for us to feel good. It's really supposed to test us because growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from correction. So if you're in that nothing's working phase, you're not losing momentum, you're gaining muscle, that emotional muscle, that mental muscle, and that spiritual muscle. And that's part one of the comeback code, understanding the setbacks and reps for your season. But we got to talk about that rebuild. That rebuild, how do you rebuild your mindset before your money? And here's where most people mess up after a setback. They try to rebuild the results before the mindset. We all done it before. Look, you lose a job, you chase another check. You lose a relationship, you chase someone new. You take an L in business, you chase the next bag. But the comeback doesn't start with your grind. This may sound corny, but it starts with your mind. And that's real. According to the research from Stanford University, your brain literally rewires itself when you face adversity. That's called neuroplasticity. Every time you push through pain, stay disciplined, or show up again after failure, you're teaching your brain that setbacks aren't endings, they're education. And let me say this clearly. Confidence doesn't come from winning, it comes from rebuilding after the losses. So, I bet you're wondering, how do you rebuild your mind before the results? You might want to get your pen and pad for this. Number one would be recenter your routines. Wake up early, move your body, get in under that sun, get that early morning vitamin D. Drink water before touching your phone. I know we all have a hard time with that. And it starts out at night when it comes to drinking that water. Drink that water at night. Not at night, but right when you wake up, you have your water bottle right next to you, so you can just drink from right there before touching your phone. Number two would be reframe your language. Stop saying, I lost. Start saying, I learned. There's no losses in your life. There's only lessons. And reframing your language is always the best thing, where you're talking to yourself differently, speaking differently, because you can't speak from who you are. You got to speak from who you want to be. How would your future self be? How would they be speaking? How would they be talking? How would they be thinking? So you got to reframe your language. First, it starts with recentering your results. Waking up early, getting up early before the sun, hitting the gym, doing what you have to do. Number three would be reignite your vision. Write down, write down what success looks like now, not what it looked like before everything fell apart. You're not coming back to who you were. You're becoming someone better. And it's understanding that. I think we all like to relive the past. I surely do, especially those past wins. But it comes down to, what new wins are you planning in your life? The goal should always be create a new normal. What happened before, that was that chapter. Now it's like, what are these new wins, these new goals that I want to accomplish, that I want to achieve? And me just reigniting that vision of, okay, this is where I need to be. This is what happened. This is what is, and this is what will be. And here's 3 steps to really rebuild that mindset. Number 1 would be start small, stack daily. Don't try to rebuild everything at once. Start with one area, your health, your habits, or your mindset, and then win that day. And it starts building that compound effect where you're doing the small wins day by day. You're stacking your days. That's what it really comes down to. I heard CB3 said it. Shout out to him. But that's true, though. You got to stack your days. You can't just go, oh, I'm going Monday, then I go Wednesday, then I go Friday. Stack your days where it's doing it on a daily basis. Number 2 is protect your environment. You can't rebuild around destruction. If your circle drains your drive, it's time to create distance. Surround yourself with people who speak growth into you and not gossip. That's real simple. Be aware of your environment. That's what it really comes down to. Are you trying to grow or stay the same? Number 3 is track your consistency, not your perfection. Perfection is pressure. We all know that. Nothing in life is perfect. But consistency is progress. And understanding that even if you show up at 60%, guess what? That's still more than 0. And when you start stacking those important days, you'll wake up one morning and realize you're not in recovery mode. You're there. You're where you need to be from who you was and who you are. It's just chipping away daily, getting those daily wins. That's what it really comes down to. And man, the comeback code ain't about proving people wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you were never finished. Because real growth happens after the fall. Real strength shows up after the failure. And real peace comes after you've built what broke you. So if you're in that rebuilder season right now, keep showing up. Keep believing. Because what you're building in silence is going to speak loud one day. I'm here with you. We all been in that rebuild phase. Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to SAUNAIE, where we get in the depths of understanding who we are, who we're becoming. And if this episode really resonated with you, share with a friend. Share with somebody you love, who you care about, who you like, love, and trust. Coworker. Leave a review if this is your first time listening. Just want to thank you for taking your time out your day to tune in. But with that being said, every setback is really setting you up for a comeback. I always like to say it's a minor setback for a major comeback. Focus on the comeback and you won't even have to worry about the setback. Until next time, y'all, stay disciplined, stay grounded, Keep building your peace. That's it. We out.